For the third time trying today, welcome back to the Changeover Podcast. My name is Justin Roberts. That's Jody McGinley. I am in Holland. It's 2:51 p.m. and Jody's up at 7:51 a.m. doing the Lord's work, getting this podcast out. He's going to edit all day, and it's going to be out on time tomorrow, right?
Correct. You're watching this at 7 a.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
Changeover
Were you headed
brought
to
you
Granby? Yeah,
by
by Starbucks. Free promo. Yeah, Jody's on the way to Granby, another challenger. I'm heading to Romania tomorrow at 7 a.m. So this is kind of a grind, but we're getting it out. This episode is pretty much made by you guys listening. You sent in your questions, we're going to answer them. But before we get to that, we are going to have Jody's thoughts on Bill Ackman, the billionaire who's funding the PTPA, getting a direct entry into the doubles event with Jack Sock this past week in Newport 125 Challenger.
Why does it have Jody's thoughts? Why is it not we're going to discuss it? Why is it
because,
have Jody's
dog,
thoughts?
When this happened last year with Diego Forlan, you were freaking out. And it was fun to see your passion. Because I thought it was okay. Like, for me, more eyes to the tennis world is good.
And do you still think it's okay?
How did I set this up? You can answer first, right? So I think that typically speaking, more eyes to the tennis world is good. And I don't think that one doubles match in the tournament is like the end of the world. I've seen not good wildcards.
It's now not one doubles match. It's now two.
It's the second time. It's
6
true.
months. And what I said back then with Forlan, we're setting a bad precedent.
But I've seen, that's facts, but I've seen very bad wildcards in challenger events before who were, I'm assuming, paid for as well. Or like there was some sort of quid pro quo, some sort of, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
And you're not hinting that Ackman did this, by the way. You're just saying, like, objective.
No, I'm just saying that I've seen a low level of a wildcard before.
Yeah.
So it doesn't ruin my day if I see somebody.
Let's get into the argument before people get lost in what you're saying, because that's not even close to the point. But like,
all right.
So basically, right, last year when the Forlan thing happened, I remember specifically, like, PK was telling me, bro, relax, like, oh, I'm tired of hearing about this Forlan, because we talked about it for like a week or so. Mm-hmm. And for the people who don't know, Diego Forlan played professional football for Manchester United. He's from Uruguay. He's like a club legend and a country legend and stuff. He's obviously passionate about tennis. I think he plays in the ITF seniors and stuff. And last year he got a wild card to play doubles at the Challenger in Montevideo. And I personally, I can't tell the people them what to do with their wild cards, obviously. Like, who am I to tell anyone what to do with their wild cards?
Man say the people them.
Yeah. But like, my thought on it was that it's bad for the sport in the sense, from the perspective of competitive tennis. So like, I understand what you said. Like, it brings eyes to the sport. Like Forlan, when he played there, it was probably packed out stadiums. We saw pictures and videos. So it probably brought more people to watch tennis than if they would have given the wild card to like a junior or something, just someone who played tennis and whatever. And I don't know who the other people who were there available to play were. So like, he very well could have been the only person there, like no one else playing. I don't know the situation. I don't know who else was there that didn't get a wild card and whatever the situation there was. With the Bill Ackman thing, it's similar in the sense of, for Forlan, if he brought a lot of eyes to the sport, I can see why that would have benefited the challenger. Like, a lot of ticket sales, a lot of people come in to watch, people talking about it, blah, 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 blah. With the Bill Ackman thing, I've heard that he's helped with the PTPA and he's interested in helping professional tennis and stuff. So that's my only hope, that if they would have given this person a wild card, that I just hope that it was worth it. Like, I hope that whatever, like, they sacrificed, in the sense of people are going to come and look at that match, and it was like a hit and giggle. It was like an exhibition, like a pro-am, and the level was a joke. Like, it was not anywhere close to competitive tennis. And if the ATP wants to have a standard for their product, then that cannot happen, in my opinion. So, like I said before, that, last year Newport was a 250. And this year they're downgrading from a 250 to a 125 challenger. So the level is already going to drop, because obviously the 250 is how much higher do you get from a 250. Like big players are going to come and play 250s and stuff. And now they're downgrading to a 125. So the people coming to watch, they're already watching a lower level than they were last year. And then they're going to come and they're going to watch Jack Sock and Bill Ackman play against Tomic and Jessica. And obviously the draw is not made specifically that way, but that's just what the draw was. And it just looked like an exhibition. And I just think it was so bad, so poor for the sport. And I know there were a lot of people that, especially the doubles players, that are just hungry for opportunities to play. Like even like people lower down the rankings like myself, that's hungry for opportunities to play into challenges. Free points are being given basically to whoever plays this person. It's just a pass. It's points and money.
With that draw, would you be happy?
Like I would be happy in the sense of like I know that I'm not playing someone that's like gonna challenge me that much. It's like a draw to the second round. But like I don't think it's good for tennis at all. And I know that there were a lot of pros, like top 100 doubles players and stuff, that were not happy as well. Like not happy at all with the situation. Like, and ultimately it's just bad for the standard of the sport, bro. Like the point that I made, because we were not arguing, but discussing it this week with a bunch of different players. Because some people think it's good for tennis, like, and I can see why it could be good for tennis if this man is genuinely interested in helping out and whatever. I don't really know what his interest is or how his line of help is going to be. But yeah, I just don't think that for the standard of tennis is not good. Like the ATP has to do something about that.
Devil's advocate. So if you watch NBA, you would have seen
sorry. Before you go on, this is what I meant to say. Nick
Kyrgios
Kyrgios is a huge Celtics fan, right? Huge Celtics fan. Will Kyrgios ever get a 10-day contract to like the Celtics G League team to go and play?
Yeah, could be.
In what world?
What world? J. Cole did it. I'm not sure if it was NBA, but he did it in a professional basketball league.
What professional basketball league? He's not going to do it in the G League, bro. He's not doing it in the G League.
Master P, the rapper, he did it.
In the G League.
He did. He played for an NBA team.
In the G League. You're Googling that right now.
Master P, NBA career. It was short-lived. He had brief training camp stints with the Charlotte Hornets.
He's not going to play in the G League
Toronto Raptors during the 90s.
Like, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Like, the audience watching can correct me if I'm wrong, but I just don't see
He played in preseason games.
Yeah, I don't see any world. But I don't see... What do you mean, but? I don't see any world...
No, I do mean but.
There's someone who's just interested in playing a professional sport is just granted a match in a professional sport. Like that doesn't happen. And why does tennis allow that? Like, a wild card is a wild card for a reason, but I don't think you're handing out wild cards to people just to like whoever level of tennis. Like, there must be some sort of standard maintained in the level of the sport. Otherwise, it just becomes like watered down. The product is going to become watered down, and it's just not good. You can't take tennis serious and respect, oh, this is such a high level of tennis. These guys are so good. You should come out and watch them. Then you come out and watch, and this is what you're watching, bro. It's not. And I feel torn because the guy probably genuinely wants to help tennis, probably, but you just should not accept like these kind of things, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I guess it's not really his fault. Like, it would be up to the tournament organizers and whoever's in charge there. I think I can get behind the point of taking away opportunities for other players to progress their careers and maybe feed their families or whatever that is. But I also see, I'm not sure if it's the kind of publicity that you do want. Because like you and I had a talk the other day about the kinds of things that you might want to post or you might want to get attention for. And I'm not sure that this is probably the right way to do it. If you're looking long term at the sport, I can see that argument. But my knee-jerk reaction when I first hear something like this is like, oh, whatever. Like, I don't care that much. But also, it's not my dream. You
probably don't care that much about doubles.
Yeah, it's not my dream to play doubles, and it doesn't affect me. So maybe that's also probably why.
If you put that situation, and this is not even what I was discussing. Like, when I say the opportunity part, like, I'm not really including myself into it that much because I'm not American. I was never in the standing, like in the running for a wild card into Newport. Like, that's not why I'm doing this at all. But like, just think of it. How many points is it to win a round at Newport 125? I think it's going to be at least like 25 points, 30. I don't know, something like that. That difference to me is like 20, 30, 40 ranking spots. This week we didn't make the online cut for Granby, me and Alfredo, by like 10 spots. So
Mhm.
like this is literally like I'm a person like me in the ranking, and you can do this for all levels. You can do this for me trying to get into challenges. You can do this to people who, let's say, they're trying to get up 5, 10 spots to be seeded. You can do this for people who are trying to go and, like doubles players I'm talking about, who are trying to push for slams. Like this is impacting so many people from like a points perspective that it's just one spot in a big event that's just going to be chalked away. Like to, you can't tell me that anyone in tennis that was serious thought that he was going to win that match.
So you think a wild card has to have morality behind it or integrity? You think
Yeah,
so?
some sort of integrity behind it for sure. Definitely. Because, like, I know, remember Taylor Dent used to say, like, when we were there, it's like, a wild card is a wild card for a reason. Like, no one deserves a wild card. You just give it to, like, it's just given to whoever they decide. That's the definition of a wild card. And in that sense, it's true. Like, anyone can get a wild card. But that's to me, that's not right. Like, you have to maintain some sort of standard. I'm gonna read his tweet out.
Okay.
One more thing, and I just want to say that because our program is probably bigger than we feel it is, and more people see this than we think it is. And I just want to say again, Bill Ackman, if this ever gets back to you, I don't think that this is your fault. I think everyone has every right to dream of whatever they want to do. If I want to go and play professional golf tomorrow, I should have the right to go and try to play professional golf. And if they grant me access into a golf event, then it's not up to me. Like they make the rules, and if they allow me to play, then I can play. So I don't think this is your fault necessarily at all. Like you have every right to feel that. But I read the tweet that he made, and I have mixed feelings about it, because on one hand it's like I respect him for having this opinion, but I also have my opinion of why he feels this way. So he said, this was his tweet: I can speak in front of an audience of 1,000 people or in a TV studio on a broad range of topics without any preparation and without a twinge of fear. But yesterday I had my first real experience with stage fright. I found myself on a tennis court in a live stream professional tournament with a few hundred in the crowd. Throughout my match, my wrist, arm, and body literally froze with the expected negative outcomes. I had difficulty breathing, and it was not a fitness issue. It got a bit better as the match progressed, but I was not able to overcome it. I regularly play with mid-20-year-old D1 college players and recently retired pros on a familiar court with no audience, with none of the same symptoms. It's a very humbling experience that gives one more respect for the pros who play for a living in front of cameras and crowds. We forget that they also need to manage the challenges of their carefully examined personal lives, their breakups, their emotions, financial stresses, and their mental health, family, and other challenges. Tennis is one of the few sports where the athlete is out there alone in front of lights for hours, operating with incredible intensity with barely a bathroom break, and they might have been awakened in the middle of a previous night for a drug test while staying far from home. For all the top players, they also struggle financially as they manage their small businesses, working to recruit and retain talent, manage expenses, balance their budgets, and pay their taxes on time. Whatever respect we already have for these incredible athletes is not enough. They deserve more of our applause and appreciation. So when I read that, I have mixed feelings about it, because on one hand, like, I can confirm that I have experienced several of those feelings as well. Like, even as a person who played tennis competitively my whole life, when you play on the bigger stages, and no doubt that would have been a bigger stage even for me, I wouldn't have been the most comfortable maybe. Like, I'm sure I would have played into the match a little bit better, but to play on a grass court in front of people and stuff, and just to play in front of a crowd or to play a challenger, I'm sure you can relate as well to having those feelings. Like, I've definitely had matches where I'm out of breath or I feel exhausted, and I know it's not because of physical conditioning and that sort of stuff. So it's nice that, he can have this kind of feedback and let people know that this is the feelings that people have. However, I believe that those feelings would be extreme for him, as the feeling of me being a person that I'm not necessarily that comfortable speaking in front of large crowds as he might be, or going into business meetings as he might be. So I think it was just like maybe a person out of their element, and that's also why he felt that way, So on one hand, I have respect, like for I agree with what he said there, and I respect him for, saying something like that about us, about professional tennis. But then on the other hand, I think part of the reason why he feels that way is because maybe he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
I mean, there's no question that he shouldn't have been there. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Um, I just guess with the question you have to answer for yourself is, do you think that, like I said earlier, that there should be some sort of integrity when it comes to a wild card, whether that means where their career is going or if they've earned it based on their past or whatever criteria that fits and makes, I guess, you as a tennis player and as a tennis fan comfortable with somebody being a wild card? Like, should they have a certain level of tennis that they have to have a chance to win or to go forward in the draw, or are they like a big talent coming up? Like, I don't know what the correct I guess criteria would be. I just think that just the way I look at these things is like, I think I probably look at it more like Taylor does, like a wild card is a wild card and they kind of can do what they want. But I do see your perspective of like, it's not good for the sport and it looks bad. It's a bad look. I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, I don't think I hold as strong of a feeling about it on a whole. But yeah.
Hey guys, quick break from the episode. The best way to support us is to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the episode.
All right, people, your turn now. We have your questions lined up. I think, speaking of level, we can start with Gab Evans, a pair of ours. He plays futures a lot from Puerto Rico. He asks, how long would it take a guy 100 ATP to get back into top 100, starting with no points and with 0 wildcards the entire time? What do you think?
Is he already playing top 100 level tennis when he
Let's
returns?
say he's 100 in the world right now, but he's been 100 in the world for the last 2-3 years, so that's kind of his level. He's not like someone. He's not running.
What
through.
I'm asking you is when he starts over.
Yeah,
from
he's
0,
top 100 player. That's the question.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's still at that level. Like he still is
that's
playing.
the question. He's a top 100
like he
player.
wasn't hurt and he's not coming
Nothing.
back. He doesn't need matches and stuff. He's just
no. Hypothetically, it's just about the level of the game coming through.
Bro, we can calculate that then. Like he's gonna run through futures. If he's top 100, he's running through futures. Like I would say, he will get to 500 pretty quick. 400 pretty quick. Like within 3 months, I would say. He would be to 400 at least.
Okay.
And then, like an example of this is like Reedy, for example, Leandro Reedy. Like, what was Reedy's top ranking?
I'm not sure you brought up 100.
Bro, Reedy out here, I watched him playing qualies. Leandro Reedy, career high 117. So he's a decent example. Like he's 117. He, I think, will get back to that ranking in the next 5 months. Like, max, I think. Like, maybe 6 months. Because, like, I think the level is just... If you're top 100, I say you're decently far off, like, the top, like, 600, maybe. And then between 600 and 400, you'll start to get into the challenges and play for more points. And he has this... Oh, but he has it protected. Really has it protected, actually. So maybe that's a bad example.
No help.
Yeah, I would say your top 100, you get through the futures within 3-4 months, and then you're getting into the challenges by then. Yeah, maybe a year, max, I think.
Do you think it's a guarantee to get back to top 100?
Like, well, you get dicey around 100, I would say, because luck has to play into it as well. Like I think you could definitely get unlucky and have some bad draws and tough conditions that don't suit you on a day or something. But I would say a year to a year and a half, maybe.
I think within a year and a half you get close to you get in the hundreds area. Like you become top 200 probably, and then making the jump from top 200 to top 100 again, I think is hard. So I think there's a lot of guys in that range that can do it. So I don't know if it's automatic that they're gonna get back through that again, because maybe the first time they broke through might have been with a couple of good draws or a couple of like withdrawals here and there, and then they ended up winning the tournament. And then sometimes it can be like you get these small little breaks, and you can kind of maybe just get through a thing, or you play out of your ass for whatever weeks and whatever, and then you get to a certain ranking that you're playing certain tournaments all year, that you kind of stay in a certain range. So I think they definitely are top 200 again, like within a year, and then after that it's kind of.
I think someone that was top 100. Like, I know we say that the levels are close and stuff, which they are, but they're not close in the sense of, like, these guys probably won't lose at 15s, I think. If they lose, they're going to lose, like, barely any matches, I think. 15s and 25s, it gets a little bit stronger, but if you schedule decently fine, you won't have, like, crazy 25. Like, going back to the Reedy example, I watched him play qualies here this week, and he just qualied at Wimbledon last week. He uses protected, and he didn't want to use his protected this week. But his level is so far off, like someone 400, that it's just crystal clear. It's like, and I don't even know how much it has to do with the tennis. It has more to do with just how he manages the match and he carries himself in the match. It's like he's so sure of the way he's gonna play, and he's so sure of himself that it's just that's how he wins. Like, he wins because of his tennis, but he also wins because he's so sure that his tennis is gonna work on the day. Because I was watching him play Alfredo, and it was a competitive match. Alfredo went up a break in the second. But then you can see that in that moment, Reedy was a little bit flustered. He was a little bit annoyed at maybe a line call here or there, or like the ball kids here or there, whatever. He was flustered, but it was like, I didn't feel like Alfredo was going to go away and take the second and keep momentum and stuff. It's like, no. Like, Reedy's running the match. And this is what these top 100 guys are going to do. Like, I saw the same thing with the Portuguese guy, Gustavo Elias. When I was in Portugal. It's like, he's having tough matches against Cannon and tough matches against a bunch of people, like 200-300 and stuff. But then he's winning matches. He's getting through them. And he is so sure of himself that he's going to get through these matches, so sure of his identity. And I think that's the difference. And these top 100 guys, like anywhere, I would say in top 150, 200, maybe, these guys are very sure about their game style and the way they're going to play. And that's what the difference is, in my opinion.
I think it's a good answer. Next one. From Abby. Start, bench, cut. Leighton Hewitt on hard. Prime Guga on clay. Prime Alcaraz on grass.
This is you, bro. I lose every single trivia. Apparently my ball knowledge
this is easy, bro. You start Alcaraz. You bench Guga and you cut Hewitt. I mean, Guga won 3 French Opens. And Alcaraz is going to win who knows how many Wimbledons, and he looks like a god on the surface. And Hewitt was unreal, but he won 1 US Open and he won one Wimbledon. So I just think he doesn't have the dominance on any surface like these other guys had. So I think that's pretty straightforward. Charlie asks, he didn't even ask, he just says, need Justin's thoughts on him breaking the net and how long it took to get it fixed after the match. Bro, honestly, when it happened, it was funny in the moment.
Did the net, or did it just fall over? Like, is it just like, is it like on top of the ground, or is it like in the ground?
I think it's in the ground.
So you hit the pole out of the floor?
Somehow, I don't know, but like, it was crazy, bro. I was 4-all in the second set, and I hit a first serve. It's the top of the tape. Oh. It goes in, and I just see the net collapse. It's like, I just couldn't believe it. It's just like, I laugh in the moment. And they called the ref. He said, "Go destroy the." He said, "Go destroy the other net now." So
that's what he said.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
He said, "This one is broken. Go destroy the other one now." And then I went to the other one, and where we moved, it was like a little darker. Like it was late. It was like after 10 p.m. It was late, and we put in like a far court with only like 2 sets of lights as opposed to like having 4. And I got broken. So I went from 40-15, looking like I was gonna hold, to I think I lost 4 points in a row, and then he won the match. But
I literally saw that, and I was actually crying, like real tears, when I was because okay, I don't know if you guys seen the video. I'll put the video here so you guys can see. But Justin's match wasn't streamed. That court wasn't streamed. So like every now and again, I would go to the match next to Justin, and I would literally look at a quarter of the points, like a quarter of the court. So I can barely see the match. So every now and again, I would just check in just to see like what the tennis is looking like from like a corner of the court. Bro, first point I see is that. I literally log in and I see that. I start crying, laughing.
That's the first thing you saw?
First thing. That's the first one I saw. And that was 40-15. So I'm like, okay, for sure, like like the net's broken. It's gonna take like a little 10, 15 minutes or something.
Nah,
So
shit,
like
that's
by
cool.
the time I leave the facility, I get in the shuttle and I open the thing, you're down a
Match
break.
done.
And I'm like, bro,
Oh,
what?
5-4,
Like,
yeah. It's crazy, bro. I mean, the first thing I thought about was Shaquille O'Neal breaking backboards. I was
okay.
like, I was like, that is something that people don't experience. Like breaking the. How often do you break the field of play that you have? It's not. That's rare. Like imagine a football player breaking the goal behind the goalie, like cracking it, or like it's just like a. I found it funny. If I found it, it's like
Do
a
you think
unique
anyone would
experience.
have broken the net? Or do you think you
Maybe,
just
maybe, but it didn't happen before I did it, so I don't know. I never seen it before, and I haven't seen it since. So you gotta,
Oh, that is the
somebody gotta show me that.
funniest shit
But
ever, bro.
but I guess I could be the Shaquille O'Neal of tennis nets.
That's funny.
But yeah, brother. Thanks for the question, Charlie. Johnny asks, what's the ideal day-to-day training for a player in the middle of competition? For example, 5 tournaments in 5 weeks. Is it just rest, stretch, treatment, and light hitting, or do you add conditioning on top? If yes, what kind? Go for it, Jody.
It depends on how many matches you're playing. Are you doing well or are you not? Are you not doing well? Like, if you're playing 5 tournaments in 5 weeks and you're going out in the first or second round, suddenly the weeks become so fucking long. Like, you have so much time in between days that you start to go crazy. Like, Kuru and I were talking about it this week. Like, we traveled from Cary to here. Like, I played 2 matches last week Thursday because it rained. Then I had Friday off, Saturday off, Sunday off, Monday off, Tuesday off, and I played first round Wednesday. And then it's so long. And then we lost first round Wednesday. So now I have Thursday off, Friday off, Saturday off, Sunday, Monday, and I could play Tuesday or Wednesday. So it's terrible when you have this many days off. And then when that happens, then the training becomes a little bit more heavy, I would say. You get more time to spend, I don't know, playing points. Obviously, you can go a little bit harder in the gym. But then if you're playing lots of matches, then it's just about availability. Like, you just want to keep the rhythm, like keep the feeling of the ball. So maybe you have light hits and then do light gym sessions. So yeah, like sometimes I'm able to do like a lift on a match day, like after the match day. I don't do it that often, but I'm able to do like a light lift, and it's like lighter weights, maybe overcoming isometrics. So that's like not even using weights, but pushing to, like, I don't know, like if you're using a squat on the Smith's machine and you're like trying to push up on the squat, but you're not going anywhere, or you're doing like isometric holds, like those kind of things. That's what I do personally speaking. But everyone's different, obviously. But typically, it just depends on how many matches you're playing, and the hits kind of get generic sometimes. Just like a few hits, just to feel a ball down the middle, crosses, volleys, serves. Like, it doesn't get that crazy.
It depends. It's for a few things as well, like kind of the philosophy of maybe your fitness coach too. Because I've seen other people do things where like their warm-ups every day are like mini fitness sessions where like they will do some sprints and agility and maybe some really light weights or medicine ball stuff. So they keep some sort of power and strength and conditioning going with their daily methods or whatever that is. And then in terms of on the court, if you are lucky enough to have a coach with you, sometimes people will play a match or on off days do really specific things. Maybe like just literally like an extra 20 to 30 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes of like a specific ball. Maybe like a certain ball, you work out, you rep it out, and then you maybe hit some serves like to a certain target. And it's just very, very dialed into either your development curve that you're looking to go on, or maybe what's happening in the matches you want to correct, or like a situation that you need to be aware of when you're playing. I've seen that as well. But
I think you have to be very careful though with like the time you spend on the court. Like what Justin's saying, you can work on some of the things, which like we do that as well. Like, and especially doubles guys, they do a lot of hand feeds and like specific situations, which is something that like Alfredo and I did this week after we lost. We did some of the specific situations that we feel we can do better. But it's like a fine balance between working on that and really slipping into a practice mindset to where that's going to affect you in the match and you're thinking about it, because you don't really want to be thinking about this sort of stuff when you're playing a match, you know, and because you kind of want to try and get into flow state as much as possible and not think about technique or like a certain tactic too heavy and stuff. Like, you don't want to be distracted by that. So it's like a fine balance. And normally I don't see guys working on that stuff for too long. Like what you said, Justin, it's maybe like a 10, 15, 20 minute of like fine tuning something or just being aware of something and not really overly concerning yourself. Because 5 weeks, it's a really long time. Like, to be on the road for 5 weeks is a long time, and you don't want to, I guess, ruin your chances of success by like overly thinking about one situation or one part of your game.
Tony Wright, the man behind Balanced Tennis, asks, "What's the GOAT tennis movie?"
Bro, I don't know. What tennis movies are there?
Bro, I tell you, it was not the GOAT tennis movie. Challengers was not really my vibe. There's some pretty cool tennis documentaries.
Oh, I watched the Rick Macy one. Was good.
That has to be it, actually. Good movie.
Yeah, the Rick Macy one was good.
Good movie. That one, and there was like a Wimbledon one back in the day I watched when I was young, which was...
There was like a Battle of the Sexes one, I think, was decent too.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
But I think the Rick Macy one was actually good.
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate it was, but it was like a very entertaining movie. I enjoyed that one. Diego is asking, how'd you guys decide where to go to college, and like what factors affected y'all's decisions? For me, I just started to... At first, I got some let's say, Facebook messages or emails from a couple of schools when I was doing all right in juniors. And then when I went on to win a couple of grade 4s, I started to get like a lot of texts. I also had help from like a college placement person. But I basically weeded through those messages that I got from the schools that I was interested in, which happened to be like good D1 schools. And then I kind of made a choice to visit 3 or 4 of them. And I went on like a recruiting trip, and I got to know all the coaches. We would call on the phone maybe once a week, and then we would keep in touch about the results and what's going on. And for me, what was important was, number one, the guys on the team, because those are the people you're going to spend the most of the time with. And especially the ones that are older than you, you're probably going to become more like them. Like, they're going to be the ones kind of setting the tone for the culture of the team. So I thought it was very important to be around people who were going to work hard, but also that I was going to enjoy being with, that I could see myself being close with. Because I felt like there were other teams that were good, but I didn't feel like click with the just with the group. I didn't think that I would be as comfortable in that group as I was in another one. And then obviously the coach and sort of his plans for you and for the school, and just if you guys kind of see eye to eye on development and what things are important as a tennis player and as a person, because you don't want to end up somewhere where the morals don't align, because then you end up unhappy. So those things were important to me. And then obviously academics, I mean, I didn't care that much, but I think you should care, especially if you're going to go to school, go somewhere where you can learn something that's useful, I think. So
here's my question to you, Justin. If 10 years ago you were told that you would have a podcast, would you have taken school differently? Like, would you have
went to like a different kind of classes?
Yeah, tried to do maybe some media or some like speech classes, or like just anything that would help, or some business classes. I had
public speaking, you know. Like, I was terrible at public speaking.
Me too.
Terrible, bro.
I don't know if I was terrible, but I didn't like it. But like,
I hated that.
My question is that if I told you then that you're going to be passionate about the podcast 10 years down the road, would you have changed your outlook on college? Because like to me now, podcasting for you is like a huge priority, and you would like to get better at it in whatever way you can. So like,
I would have taken a couple of classes, maybe. I don't know if I would change the whole major, but I think I definitely would have gotten a few classes in something maybe in the journalism school, where you learn about how to maybe conduct interviews and research and these kind of things. Even though I like the way we do it is a bit more, I guess, less polished. It's a little bit more just We think about questions and we just ask them. There's no real method to it, I would say. I would do something around that, and then maybe something in the videography realm, whether it was like just learning cameras, learning about audio, learning about just how to use his equipment to get the best possible product so that it looks and sounds clean. And then you can learn about certain angles and like what, because you watch these videos on YouTube, bro, and you learn about like where they have the head in the shot. It says something and it sets a tone for the scene. So you just learn about all kinds of things.
In the
bro.
middle of this, there's like a.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
so like, this is something about like if there's a lot of tension in the scene, if the head is like close to the camera, like to the. It's just interesting stuff. So I think I would have been interested in learning that stuff.
We
just press the red button and go.
Button.
Yeah. That's why it's cool having Matt Calvis, insider tennis guy, around, because you could just pick his brain and he would teach you a bunch of shit.
The full government every time, cousin,
Matt Calvis, dog,
Calvis.
the GOAT. The GOAT. Brian is asking us, besides water, what are you guys drinking after tough practice or match? Gatorade, Powerade, etc.? And what is the most bizarre thing in your racket bag at the moment? For me,
I drink free
ahead.
promo, but I drink Element, and then I have protein, but I don't take it that often. I take it. It depends on how physical my days are. Like I take it a lot when I'm in Florida training. On the road, I probably should take it some more. When I was in Africa, I took it a lot. Just have a protein shake at the end of the day. That's pretty much it for me. And I just take Dawn multivitamins.
And the wildest thing in your bag?
I don't think I have anything crazy in my bag. I have rackets. I have, what do I have? String, clothes, shoes. A nail clipper, but that's not wild. That's normal for tennis players for cut out strings.
Yeah, I have. I take Element as well. I ran out, but I bought something here that's like with like Celtic sea salt and magnesium and potassium, like similar formula, just apparently with like super high quality salt. But it tastes like garbage, so I kind of miss the Element at the moment. Craziest thing in my bag would have to be maybe this compression thing.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I think it's probably the craziest thing. Is like I had a wrist issue, so to help my wrist warm up quicker and my forearm to be, I guess, whatever it does. I don't really know exactly what it does, but it restricts the blood flow, and it gives like it feels weird when you do it, but when I take it off, my wrist and my arm feel a little bit livelier without as much need to warm it up. So I think it just helps me to get warm. But that's probably the craziest thing in my bag. Nothing.
But I think
nothing absurd.
But I think athletes now know a decent amount about blood flow restriction. Like, it's not that crazy of a thing to do. Like, it felt very weird to wrap my whole arm up in a black like elastic band, but like I think it's not really that uncommon. Like, people probably if they've done physio, they probably have done it by now, I think. Yeah. So
Nash wants to know, do you think high-level college players are getting discouraged to continue playing futures because of the low prize money, even if they have potential to be top 100 players? No, not at all. Bro, if you look at the slams right now, there's so many college guys. And if you are a top college player, you're probably getting paid to play in school. And you're probably getting in these accelerator programs where you're playing in challenges. And I think there's no better time than right now to be a college tennis player, especially if you're successful.
Look in the fall, you see how many college players are playing in futures. Like, it's full. It's just all college players.
There's no better time.
Like, even
good. You play in the States in the summer, full of college players. You play right now in Europe. I'm here in Europe. Half the draw is college players. Like, I mean, ballers everywhere and everybody's hungry like dogs, bro. It's like there's no discouragement anywhere. I don't think.
I'm stringing up my racket using my Pro Stringer. I've had this machine for 4 or 5 years now. The Pro Stringer is a portable stringing machine. It's very durable. It's accurate. I never have any issues with the tension being incorrect and stuff. It's easy for me to know what to expect from the racket. And we at the Changeover actually have a partnership with Pro Stringer. So if you'd like to go and purchase one, you can go to the website and you get to save $100 off a brand new Pro Stringer when you use our discount code changeover in the checkout. So if you're interested in a portable stringing device, I highly recommend this machine. Saves a lot of money in stringing fees. And like I said, I take it everywhere I go and string all of my rackets on this machine.
Located in South Florida, Access Tennis is in the ideal location for training and competition. There are groups available for all levels of players, from young juniors to top ITF, D1, and pro players like Jody and myself. Access had a big part in the development of players like Cooper Williams, Ben Wilworth, Liam Draxler, and more. Access also has UTR match play certification. Visit accesstennis.com/contact for more information. Lucas wants to know, what do you guys think before a big point, and what you guys try to do in a big point? I think on a big point, I'm trying to do what I'm good at and what has been working in the match. Some combination of those two things. And I try to just think of my cues. I try not to make the point. I try not to magnify the big point. I try to sort of keep it as is. I'm just playing this point, but I want to play as well as I possibly can, and I want to do the things that I know I'm good at. It's not the time to typically it's not time to throw in a random drop shot or go for my backhand line. Like a big point it's time for me to find forehands. It's to use my serve to find a forehand, or to use my return to get some depth, or to get neutral and then find forehands. That's pretty much it. I think it's not more complicated than that. And if I get to the net and that after finding the forehand, that's a plus. But I think you have to keep it as simple as possible to find the strengths. Jody?
Yeah, I think also just be prepared to start the point well. When you're about to start the point, make sure you're ready for the point. So if you have to take an extra couple of seconds to take a deep breath, if you're feeling a little bit of tension in the body to get to feel a deep breath, to get to deep breath, or if you have a performance cue that helps you, I don't know, you see some guys bounce on their toes or something, or loosen the arms or to have the shoulders down, whatever it is to help someone to get the nerves out as much as possible and loosen up, and just be ready to, when you start the point, make sure that you're ready for the point. You don't want to go into the point a little bit out of breath from the point before, or a little out of breath because you have some tension and now you're going to play the point tight. Make sure you're crystal clear in how you want to play the point, and when you're ready to stand up to serve or return, make sure that you're ready to start the point well. Because the reality is also, especially in men's tennis, the points can be so short that if you hit with good quality in the first 3 shots, the point can be yours. So just make sure you start the point really well. Obviously, it would be nice to end the point well, but just make sure that you start the point with quality and you're ready to play the point when the point's going to start. So
yeah. Okay, Kalinik is asking, what is one of the craziest racket setups you guys have seen on tour? For sure, the 2-handle on the Dubs tour, you'll see a couple of guys with it.
Tennyson
Whiting. What's the guy's name, the original?
Brian Battistone.
The Battistone brothers used to rock that.
Dre last year was using Kevlar string. That's kind of crazy.
That's nuts.
That doesn't even look like a real thing.
I've seen Ryan Dickerson. I don't think it's maybe I have to call his name. Maybe that's crazy. But he was rocking putty in in his whoop band to have weight. To have weight on his arms so that the racket was swinging at a certain swing weight.
My boy was also wrapping Gorilla Tape around the V of the racket. He was wrapping Gorilla Tape. Yeah. Ryan, bro, chill out.
Ryan was tripping out, but he's doing way better now actually.
Bro, Ryan rips the shit out of the tennis ball, my boy.
He's doing way better now. He was playing not horrible. He was having a hard time last year, I think, or the last few years. But I saw him have really good wins this year. I remember he beat Garrett this year after Garrett won a bunch of tournaments, and I seen him going deep in draws. So I guess that's. I hope he has let go of some of that obsession of the weights and stuff. If he's watching this, I mean what I said.
And good job.
Yes.
And good job on the recent successes.
Yes, and keep it up, brother. And wear sunscreen, but his face be red. That man be out there grinding, dog. What is it? 8? You have 4 minutes. Let's do one more.
Give me 5-10 minutes left.
Let's do one more.
The reason why, guys, is that I'm traveling, and we're supposed to leave in I'm traveling with Karu and Freddie, and we're supposed to leave in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Can
Yes.
we leave at 9? Just finishing pod. All right, go on.
Yeah, it's early o'clock over there. Aria is asking how to find the right balance of training and recovery for your individual body. You have these freak athletes like Michael Phelps, David Goggins, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, who trained excessively, and there are others who didn't go quite as hard but still reached their top tier levels in the sport. That is the question of
But
all
you s-
questions, Aria.
But you said it. Like it's just about the individual person. So to me, it's about maintaining quality. You don't want to be wasting time when you're training. So if the quality is starting to drop and now you're not, if I'm working on a specific ball and I'm hitting 9 of them 10, 9 of them bad and 1 out of them well, the way I'm trying to hit it, then it's not worth it. Like if I'm not focused enough and stuff, I'm hitting majority of them the wrong way. Then it's not worth it. So you just have to find a balance to be able to keep the quality high, maintain the quality as high as possible for as long as possible. And if you can do that for a really long time and you don't get injured, then you're going to be an absolute dog and you're going to be able to spend more time working on stuff than other people and maintain that level. And then motivation. You don't want to get burnt out because like you can spend a lot of time, then suddenly you've spent 1,000,000 hours on court and now you're exhausted and don't want to spend any more time on the court. So it's just balancing like the quality and the body and the motivation, in my opinion.
Yeah, I am not the person to answer this question for you, Aria. I am still trying to figure it out. But I am currently on about 3 months of health, so ask me in about a year. If we're still good, I got something for you. Actually, 2 quick ones. Ian Kerr wants to know favorite court you ever played on. Cancun Court 10, brother.
No, negative.
Hype one for me was Pan Am Games 2019 center court. I played against a Peruvian in Peru, and they was chanting and singing, and I won that match, and I think it was a cool experience. My old man was there. That was a cool one for me. Probably that court was pretty cool.
I'll give a handful. I would say Montevideo at my first Davis Cup was pretty fun. I got destroyed in 40 minutes, but it was just sick to play with Antigua on my back and whatever. Shout out Jimmy Bendick if you're watching. I liked another Davis Cup against Costa Rica against Jesse. I won in 3. It was cool to play against Costa Rica in Costa Rica. We lost the doubles point, but I won singles and that was pretty fun. Because them times Jesse was moving like a real G, bro. Jesse wasn't losing in Davis Cup, and it was like his first or second year playing for Costa Rica, and it's like, who is this crazy athletic guy like sliding and jumping all over the
Doing
place?
handstands for no reason.
The crowd was
the time.
loving him, and I was like, yeah, like I won the match, and yeah. Shout out to Jesse. And then I had other fun ones like Pan Am was fun. Barranquilla CAC games against Rob and like I played Colombia. I played Mejia Struvay and I played Victor Estrella and Roberto Cid. Those were fun. And then, yeah, maybe some of the recent ones like Morelos Stadium Court in the finals was a movie. That was a good one. That might be my favorite actually. That might win.
Yeah. And to end it all, Hugo wants to know best fast food while on tour. Brother, if you just lost a match, I don't think I've ever experienced more satisfaction and then feeling like dog shit after than just like if there's a Five Guys nearby, you spend too much money on a burger, but it's always unreal, and then you get too much fries and you get a milkshake, and it's just always, for me, it's always worth it. For me, it's a Five Guys double bacon burger all the way with I would just go medium fry because there's too many fries anyway. Oreo milkshake, Oreo Pieces milkshake with whipped cream, no cherry. And you get a Coke too, just because. You don't finish the Coke ever, but you just get it.
I think it depends on where you are. Like if you're in Santo Domingo, what are you getting?
Pizza. We go.
No.
We
You're
go
getting KFC,
pizza.
surely. KFC. Me and Dre slam KFC.
I never had
after
KFC
the
there.
final. It's good.
I never had KFC there.
But
I know
think,
when I lose to the Dominican,
I think pizza normally. I like a pizza.
I go pizza. I have had like the fried chicken, local fried chicken there is good too. Yeah. Something nasty though. Always. Always something nasty.
Hurt me.
Yeah. People, it has been a crazy ride this summer so far. I mean, we went from like 3K subs to 8.5 now. We just passed 8,500. And I think we pushing for 10, and I think before the end of the summer. And from next week on, we have some cool guests lined up, and we are working hard to get those out to you. Some things fell through this week, so that's why we put this impromptu episode together for you guys. As you can see, he's about to travel in 5 minutes, and I'm about to fall asleep over here. But we appreciate the support. If you're enjoying the content, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend, and we will. So my schedule is I'm planning to play 3 weeks now in Romania, and I think Jody's gonna go where?
I go to Granby, then I go to Bloomfield Hills. Then I don't know if I'm gonna go to Lexington yet. Maybe I go to Lexington, maybe a week off. Then Davis Cup in Trinidad, and then I will either go to Cancun, Sumter, or Barranquilla.
You outside. You on the road. Yo, I thought you were gonna say 3 weeks, then we can link back in Miami or in Florida, but no, I can see you in August.
Yeah, in August. Yeah, I have Davis Cup on the 4th of August, so I would like to play Chicago, but I have Davis Cup. So then it's just about if I'm gonna take a week off before Davis Cup.
Okay.
But I don't. Honestly, I don't think I will, because if I play Lexington and I do well in Lexington, then it's worth it. And if I don't do well, I'll have the days off that I need anyway before Davis Cup. And then the week after is a couple of 125s and a 75. So hopefully my ranking is high enough to get into that. But yeah, that's about it. But bro, Justin, there's this thing that we do on the podcast where at the end we ask the guests, who would you like to see on the podcast, bro? Who would you like to see on the podcast?
I want to see Roger Federer. I want to see Novak Djokovic. You know who I actually want to see? Darian King got to make an appearance on this podcast, brother.
You know, Darian he's messaging me about coming back. He wants to play tournaments. He's been messaging me.
Darian?
Bro, he's been asking me questions. First of all, this is kind of crazy. Before we go, let's touch on this really quick. Pause. No one understands the entry list. Yesterday I had dinner with Carew, Alfredo, and Andrade. And the Los Cabos 250 is next week. So everyone is like, we're talking about the entry system at challenges and ATPs. And it's insane to me that it's none of our first years on tour and we don't fully understand it. Like, guys are like, they're annoyed because if you sign up for a 250 and you sign up for a challenger, if you enter the challenger, qualies or main, it withdraws you from the 250. Like the alternate. It'll take you out.
So how do you hedge your bets?
Once you enter a list, they take you out the other list. So like, Los Cabos dropped off. Morani Buzij didn't sign for a challenger next week, so now he can take a gamble and go to Los Cabos to try and get in. But like Carew and Andy and like Alfredo, these guys, they can't go because they're committed to Granby already. You know,
that's a bad system. You should be able to. They should incentivize you to play up.
Correct. That's exactly what I was saying last night. You should be incentivized to play up, and it's just, yeah, it's tough. Even for doubles, like the doubles list fell way off. How can you predict that a list is gonna fall way off? And me, for example, if I wanted to go and sign, I could because I didn't get into the 10 teams in Granby. But let's say Finn Reynolds and James Watt, they're the number 1 seed in Granby. They can't go from Granby now to Los Cabos because they're already committed to Granby. So it's like I don't know what the solution there is, but I just think it's too many different like lists and too many different like dates and stuff, and they need to make it more consistent so people can plan better.
They need to consolidate all of these things into one thing that just flows and it funnels, like it just so that you are incentivized to play the highest level you possibly can play every week. And if you want to choose not to play it and you go down, that's up to you, unless you have a certain ranking. But I think that the fact that you get into a qualies list of a challenger you can't go to a ATP 250 makes zero sense.
And they must have some logical reason for it. You know, I always do this. They must,
right?
They have to. But I think at the bare minimum, they should do a better job of explaining to people why that is, or just making it simpler. Because you're telling me that Carew, Andrade, Alfredo, and myself, none of our first years on tour, and we're still like discussing it and trying to figure. And I know a lot of people were talking about it this week. Like a lot of people were talking about it this week.
Do you think you're gonna say no for sure? But do you think that so once the PTPA thing started to catch the news, right? Like the lawsuit and this and that, and players looking for this and that, and like let's say, Pospisil and Nassar, I'm not sure his last name, sorry, went on Roddick and stuff. It got like a lot of publicity, the PTPA movement. Then you started to see like stuff like the baseline program came out, and then you start seeing. I've seen a lot of players who are like ranked like 100 to 200 posting on their story like the baseline program helped me so much, blah 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 blah. And it's like, dog, you started playing 6 months ago. Like, what do you mean it helped you so much? You didn't even qualify for the thing. Like, what are we talking about? And then you see the WTA and the ATP.
Rumor has it that they were told to post that, otherwise they can get in trouble.
And then you see the ATP and WTA hired this. They collabed on posts with this guy who does the cool sketch, and it's like he just shows how decisions are made in ATP and WTA and how points work and these things. But it only highlights the positive parts and why the ATP is so efficient and why WTA is so efficient. And it's like you're missing like so much of the picture here of the things people are complaining about. It's like it seems like there are like media games being played, which is crazy that's happening in tennis now. Like you see it in other things, in like politics and all these places, but it seems like propaganda is a strong word, but it's like they're trying to put content out that makes the ATP and WTA and these other stakeholders look better to sort of combat the public sentiment that is starting to grow against them. So it's like, it's just a funny thing that I'm noticing, and I wonder if you see the same. Obviously you do.
Yeah, I see it a little bit. How about we just not
talk about
How about we just not give wildcards to people who don't play competitive tennis? How about we help the schedule so that people who want to go and play a 250 and they finally have the opportunity to get into one, they're allowed to go and play one? How about we do that? You know, like how about we do that sort of stuff? You know, how about we stop the bettors from going insane in my DMs? How about that?
Or at least give us some of that better money. What you talking about?
Oh my goodness, can we stop that? I mean, this, yeah.
Hey,
I'll just say before we done this.
Yeah.
The only thing, like only thing I don't enjoy when we talk about these topics is that I don't really have the solutions, and I've never actually talked to. Like I talked a little bit to Brad Taylor, I think his name is, the ATP supervisor. He was explaining to us the entry system like 2 years ago in Pittsburgh. Because I remember we had the same problem. People were trying to leave Pittsburgh 15 to go and play DC 500. I don't even know how that's even possible, but they were doing that and guys were getting in. But people were upset because some people the next week, they were committed to Lexington. So they have to go play Lexington and they can't go and play DC. So it went from like the guys who were like 300, 400 maybe, they can't go and play DC because they got into a challenger. But the guys below them that weren't going to get into the challenger didn't sign, and now they can go play DC. So like, yeah, I just don't enjoy, talking about these topics and not having the answers. I don't want to be like a complainer. So like maybe at some point if we can have someone on the podcast that can come and discuss
that would be cool to pick somebody's brain and see what exactly they think is going on or whatever's going on. But
I would think that's a better way to go about it than like posting these videos about the prize money breakdown, about the bonus pool and like these kind of things. I think it'd be better if like you don't even have to do it on ours. Go to Roddick. Like go to Roddick or go to like Nothing Major. They have bigger platforms than we do, and just have a conversation about why. Like just make a list. Make someone make a list about the questions, like the entry system, the bonus pool, the prize money, the scheduling, like all this stuff, and just talk about it and maybe
just be transparent.
Give a peace of mind to people.
Which is difficult to do, but yeah, man, we were just just thinking over here. But anyway, this has been an episode of the Changeover Podcast. We appreciate the love, and we'll be back next week with a guest. For sure. At least we hope so. We'll see what happens next week. Bye.